Hello again. Now, I'm going to be speaking to Numsa's General Secretary, Irvin, just to get an update on negotiations between trade unions and Eskom. We've been told that it's the strike that has caused most of the problems resulting in the recent stage 6 of power cuts. Mr. Jim, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. Firstly, how is your consultation process going? I saw two statements that you and your peers at the National Union of Mine Workers, NUM, issued, joint statements saying that there was progress made in the talks yesterday morning, and then later, of course, you issued a statement to say there's been no agreement yet, contrary to what the Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, had announced yesterday evening. So your consultation process, where are we at today?
But then we're handling a very sensitive process in that, as you would know, that we are dealing with a situation which is not of our own choosing. We didn't anticipate that Eskom could unilaterally walk out of negotiations, having presented an offer which is far less than inflation when it was still at 5.9. They simply just walk out of those negotiations and they declared a dispute. And we immediately had to act responsibly because we could feel on the ground that workers were extremely agitated by that. We wrote a letter to Eskom calling on them to come to the table and negotiate at a strategic level with senior leadership of both unions, NUM and Numsa. Of course, last week, as some would have understood, Eskom would have just reacted negatively and refused to meet. And we had to write last week on Friday another letter calling on them to say they must come to the table. And yesterday, I think 2 days from now, we would have met with Eskom. It was yesterday when we finally met. A second time meeting where we met and engaged. There has been an offer on the table. Of course, because we're dealing with a threat of stage 6, which has kicked in as a result of the allegation that it is as a result of our workers and members in the power stations, we would have issued a statement in the light of the offer that basically, workers must normalize the situation because this coming Friday, we would be considering the offer that will formally be presented in the negotiation at the CBF level.
Yes, so that offer on the table, is it an improved offer that you're going to be discussing on Friday?
It's an improved offer, but then, which is why we said workers should not just continue as if we're dealing with a situation where Eskom would have made an offer and unilaterally. What we have now is an improved offer. You were asking the question, how do we consult? We have yesterday basically sensitized the shop stewards and the leadership core of both Numsa and NUM to say there's an offer on the table, but it will be formally be presented on Friday for negotiations to engage and to consider it, and that it will be taken to members so that we can be mandated properly.
Contrary to what the Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, announced yesterday, there's still no wage agreement. There's just a new improved offer on the table about which you are busy consulting your members as Numsa.
But then we were very irritated yesterday because the minister came from nowhere. He didn't talk to us. We didn't meet. We don't know what informed him to do that. And I must say that his statement had a serious negative impact that could sabotage the current negotiations. As you would know, if you're negotiating for workers, you get given a mandate, you negotiate with the other party. If there's an offer, you can't talk of an agreement until that offer is taken to workers for consideration. And that's what we were working on. And then, to our surprise last night, a minister goes public and announced that there's an agreement, as if there's an agreement when there exists no agreement. What exists is an offer which we're taking to workers. And of course, that could irritate workers. And that's why yesterday we said he would have to take full responsibility if this thing completely get out of hand. We're already dealing with a crisis. We're trying to find a solution. We felt it was irresponsible of the minister to act in the manner in which he has acted yesterday.
Thank you very much, Mr. Irvin, the General Secretary of the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, Numsa.